it's time for the June garden tour. There's not a lot in bloom yet, but I wanted to show you the garden anyway because so much has changed. We've been able to transition the beds and container from tulips and daffodils to the summer planting, so I'd like to show you that. And I think in the next few weeks, everything is going to burst into color. Let's get started. Alright, so this time we'll start the tour exiting the garden. I still have my little tree. This has not changed much. The camellia here is done blooming for the season. It had beautiful white blooms, but just at its feet we have a beautiful little campanula. And right next to it I have a lilac. No blooms this year, but next year. And then I just popped a few little trailing geraniums. I just really love the look of geraniums in the summer. They're really happy plants. And then of course you can still catch a bit of the foxgloves. I have a few over there and a few on that side. We'll get closer in a minute. They've been really majestic and I really love the vertical movement that they bring. Then we have a first tomato plant. I've just given it a bit of a prune. And I just popped a few Swiss chard plants. This is Swiss chard celebration, so we have some yellow stems at the back and then a mix of orange and red. And look at the roses, they have exploded. So these were planted bare root in March, and look, I'm just a bit early doing this tour, but look at that, a bud ready to explode. I'm so excited. Then remember on those two containers we had some violas. I pulled those, but our dahlias are growing really well and the glads also, so we should have blooms very soon. And I popped a bit of the calibraco at the bottom, and this is going to give us massive pink blooms. And more dahlias over here. Another rose, David Austin. This is part of the series I planted, and look at that. We're going to get some blooms very soon. It's full of buds. I cannot wait. Then in the corner, our little Ikea planter is looking gorgeous. I have some glads coming up and also some osteospermums. They're so beautiful. Some geraniums and a few snapdragons as well. And look at that! The clematis is finally blooming. I think this one just bloomed yesterday. Look how pretty. I love that color. So this has been already so much color in the garden. Then if we turn around, so we have our first grouping of pots with a rose and two lilacs. And then over here, the salvia is in full bloom. It's absolutely stupendous. I really love those spikes of purple. Really pretty. Then I have a lily at the back, pink one. So that's going on really well, and I can see some buds on it as well. So blooms very soon. And then another couple of pots of gladioli and dahlias. So you have to be a bit more patient. I do have a bit of a slug issue, so I need to bait for that. But those are going to be glorious. I'm hoping we can have some blooms very soon. Just to show you, I pinched those just barely a week ago, so cut off the main stem and look at all that side branching. The plant is bulking out and is going to become very full. Then over here, another little trailing geranium. And of course, look at the meadow! It's so full and so lush. I'm so excited. Look, if I put that angle, look how tall the plants are getting. It's awesome. Here we have so many little buds forming everywhere. Oh, it's awesome. Here the white lavender also it's just starting to bloom. It's so beautiful. And then the sunbed has changed quite a lot. You may remember here I had a lot of tulips and I've swapped over to some dahlias. Then I added some nasturtiums. This is a mix called Alaska that I grew from seed, and they're bulking up really nicely. I can't wait. I also popped the other day to fill the gaps just a few cosmos seedlings. I also planted some hollyhocks, 2 plants here and 1 over here. They're pink, so they're going to replace my vertical element once the foxgloves are gone. Then 3 delphiniums, and then look at that. I planted some sweet peas along that fence where we added some trellis. And we're just starting to see the first blooms coming through. It's so pretty. So for sweet peas, you have to remember to pick those. Actually, I need to do that. And look, our little floribunda rose also is full of buds. And we have a beautiful bloom that started. So this one blooms in clusters. I love the pure white. It's really pretty. And we have a lot more ready to start. And over here, foxgloves. Our third rose. I still can't believe how much these grew. Look at that. Same here. We're full of buds. So my apple tree, well, I'm a bit sad about this one because there are no blossoms this year either. So I'm not sure, maybe it's just not happy. The pot is too small, so I need to have a look at that. More dahlias here and another tomato plant that I'm trying also to train on a string here. I've just made a little teepee. So we'll see how that goes. And same here, I planted a few Swiss chards. And then this is a little summer shelf. So for now I still have a white campanula blooming. Look at that. This one is also full of buds. More geraniums, trailing geranium. You can tell I love geraniums. And over here our begonias are waking up. I have 4 tubers here. They're going to be really stunning. It's a variety called Florence, which does the most beautiful pink blooms. So again, not long. And then I really love those little urns that I use for Christmas decorating. And I also popped 4 bulbs in each. So this is the view when we enter from the back. Another view of the meadow. So happy how it turned out. Then on the little table I just put together a little vignette, summer vignette. I love that I use a little watering can with some beautiful daisies, a bit of snapdragons and calibraco to bring the interest from the other pots, and a little geranium, the messy corner. And then I wanted to show you the shade bed because last time we had a look it was full of beautiful daffodils, and this does get a bit of afternoon sun but just a little bit, and all the astas came back beautifully. This is a heuchera, and I planted a little fern we had in the Ikea container next to the sofa. Then so many like really pretty astas. I popped 2 dahlias over here, one here and one there, and they're still growing nicely. And then more asta. Look at that, the heartleaf foliage. I had lost this one, so I just replanted one earlier on. A couple of heucheras that are blooming. Here I just love that view. I have so many colors. I hope you enjoyed this June garden tour. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! The little bee snacking.